Yeah, I mainly use the Twitch stream because I feel like it's more like up to present date or like.
We should be good.
What lap are we on?
26.
Okay, 10-4. Yep, we are still good. Let me check my phone on the YouTube for you. Daggett slowly trying to reel in Sanchez, maybe just keeping within reason, Brian. So the front four separated by only a second and 9/10.
Yeah.
Sanchez, Daggett, Lother, and more.
Good job.
And then, yes, indeed it is. Look at that.
I just had a hiccup.
Yep, it happens.
You see there, the one pinching Dion down there on that bottom lane. Giving every run for his money there. But Dion said,
I want to capitalize. Thank you.
Come back here a little bit more. You got Jacob Carter, the 68 at Campbell. That's 10th, 11th, and 12th here. Oh, you see that bobble from the one, Will.
Yeah, Austin Moore keeps getting a little bit greedy with that bottom lane, ever so slightly inching down onto the paint. And if you get below the paint there, you're going to hit that apron. Just like we saw last night, a couple of drivers were getting greedy with the paint and the apron at Vegas. Well, it's same rule of thumb applies here at Texas. Well, any mile and a half, really. You know, you do not want to touch the apron with that left front or the left sides. It's going to be uneven pavement than the track, and it's just going to unsettle the chassis, and it's just going to shoot that truck up the track. So, got to be careful, got to watch out how far you can point that wheel. Nothing has changed in the, I say nothing has changed in the top four, but Brandon Moore has gotten by the 18 truck, so 18 is now fallen 2.25 seconds off the race lead. So, Father. Yes, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying.
Don't worry about it. You're good.
He is, it looks like he's got some good short run pace, Brian. If we get a spiel of cautions late in the race, he might have something, unless he could maybe find some good long run speed. But at the moment, short run speed for the 18. We've got one truck, Lawson, one lap down in the 42, and then 21 seconds back to Lyle. So that's what the gap is at the moment. Hunsaker wasn't able to grid, it looks like. So that sucks for Matt. No pun intended for his last name. But even though that, anywho, Justin Steeves, he said earlier in, before we got up here, he was looking for a top 10 run after his, I believe he finished on the podium last week at Milwaukee in the Cup Series. So he's really trying to carry that momentum forward here in BNR.
Yes, he is. He's been doing very well. Same thing with Campbell. But Campbell he gets caught bad, wrong place, wrong time. 9 times out of 10 out of the week. But he's doing very good in points. Oh, you see that bobble there from that 68 machine, Will?
Yeah, turn number 4 is where you're probably on both sides of the circuit. Turn number 4 and turn number 3, but mainly turn number 4 is where you're going to see the trucks, kind of step out a little bit. This track can be very slick. And especially like we just talked about, turn number 4, you feel like you're needing to turn forever. These corners, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, this mile and a half, Brian, it's all about the turns really. And because the straightaways, there aren't hardly nothing to the straightaways. So you just kind of feel like you're forever turning. And if you can get that truck to, point straight off the corners, that's great. But you just always have that feeling of, man, I'm just always turning here.
Yes, indeed. That is a sharp looking 68 lane. I like that. Campbell always comes classic. Even in his cup cars, he does.
I think he has more orange on the cup cars. I would like to see a little bit more orange on the truck. Just saying. I'm not saying that because I love the color orange at all. Not at all. Brandon Moore has passed Daggett to be in P2, so P2 has exchanged. As we have been back here focusing on the backfield. Brandon in the Goodwrench colors tonight, so Mike Skinner in the house. Right. Mike Skinner, the guy who won the inaugural truck season championship in the real world, and then Ron Hornaday followed up by winning the second season. So, tad bits of information you learn every day if you haven't already known that already.
See there, Brandon is exactly keeping it like a second. Ain't letting it get any more further than that, but he's keeping it a second behind Jaden.
And we're getting into that pit window. 35 to 40 laps is the pit window, Brian. So we've already hit that window, and we have trucks now starting to make green flag scheduled pit stops.
Yep. The first taker was JP, the second one is Daggett, and then everybody else to follow in behind that.
Really would like to know why my phone service acts up every now and again. It's like you currently have no phone service, and it's like, oh, I don't have AT&T. Come on now.
You see here, now Jaden Pitt. So.
I was about to say Brandon Moore was running him down, but yes, Jaden Pitts. Brandon could be going a little bit further. This could help Brandon in the long run. We know tires is so crucial on iRacing, and it's almost like the everlasting gobstopper. So, you really need those tires to work with you in the long run to keep them and conserve that tire wear. And Brandon Moore, he's really good about doing that. So that could be another reason why he was just sneakily working his way through the top 5 in this kind of run here that we're seeing. 40 laps, and we haven't seen that terrible towel.
Nope.
I didn't say it, so maybe I didn't say the C word.
And just like that, Justin Steves is staying out an extra lap.
Points. Every point matters, Brian.
Oh yeah.
If you get to lead a lap, Well, Robert's also. Well, I was going to say Robert's also another one who is kind of known for just kind of riding, being patient, letting the race come to him. Also another one that kind of sometimes gets caught up in a lot of other people's stuff like Campbell, but there's a lot of them out there that just get caught up in melees and unfortunateness. But yeah, Justin making his pit stop now.
Here cycles back out to Jaden being the leader.
So 2 more pit stops. I think if we do the math correctly, let me see, 30. They started at 38, and you say 3?
I think
Yeah, possibly, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I hope they're good at saving some tires. Well, now they get 4 sets. They should have enough.
Oh, yeah. They have an extra set if they need them if a caution comes out late in the race, So
Yeah.
that's the way I look at things here. Who's in the 24? They have a BNR logo on their quarter panel.
Ernest King.
Yeah, Ernie's. Yeah, love to see BNR broadcasting. I think they have on their quarter panel. I think. In fact, I think I saw that. Or it could have been something else, but I thought it was your colors.
That's the truck logo.
Oh, that's the truck logo. Well, all of our colors kind of run the same here. Sanchez cycles back out to the race lead. He's got Daggett behind him. Might as well say a second and a half behind Sanchez. Brandon Moore's in third. 2 seconds separate the top 3. Fourth place, you have the 18. Oh, and that's a big caution. That's going to collect at least 3 trucks coming out of turn number 2. The pit cycle had been completed. Oh, that's just 2 trucks, I think. What happens here? The 42 of Lawson is up high. And who are we running on board? Oh, Lawson comes down into Robert Emerald, and I'm sorry, it's Amaro, right? My apologies, Robert. But yeah, the 42 Lawson, he was trying to hold it up there, and he just ever so slightly twitched, and I think I jinxed Robert. That commentator's curse, man. I truly believe it's real now. Oh, man. Robert, you can blame me for that. Robert was really minding his own line, too. Innocent bystander, truly, of another driver's misfortune, as I alluded to earlier. I hate to see it after I called it like it basically before it happened. It's almost like I knew it was going to happen. It really, really sucks. Brian, I didn't know I could predict the future.
Right.
And we're going to have some more pit takers, even though they just pitted. It looks like everybody actually is going to come down and pit that's on the lead lap. No, they are not. The top 5 that are going to cycle out to be the top 5 now. 5 trucks stayed out. Daggett, Berry, Pearson, Cornett, and Smith stay out. So that's Mark Berry, not Brother Dave. Brother Dave's not here tonight, unfortunately. So hopefully all the best wishes to Dave. Don't know why Dave isn't here. Dave, we miss you. We love seeing you. But hopefully he's out there in chat somewhere.
Chiropractor appointment today.
Oof. Yeah, that. I need to go to one of those. But yeah, Mark up here at the moment, setting P2.
Yeah, right up here with Troy. Oh,
grab Cameron.
Want to grab Cameron?
Yeah, let's grab Crank. I would have said Jacob, but he's
Cameron.
Yes, sir.
So you think staying out here after that pit cycle, do you think just having a few lap offset tires is going to be a decent strategy here for you, Cameron?
Yeah, I think so. I took tires on that green flag pit stop there, and I'm not gonna. We have limited set of tires laying in the pit, so I wanna conserve those, and I'm playing a bit of strategy here. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but I stayed out about 3 laps longer than everybody else did, trying to play a little bit of fuel game here.
Yeah, we had a 45 lap. Go
don't know if
ahead.
it's going to benefit me, but never know when that 3 laps of fuel can make a difference later. I probably should
Yeah,
have pitted fuel under this caution, but I didn't want to give up my track position.
I was going to say, we had a 45 lap opening stint, no caution, and you guys were racing pretty hard, for about 30 laps there, and then, finally was getting some good spread out separation between everybody. The tires were finally starting to wear off a bit. So, do you think you'll see some more of that, or do you think cautions might be cautions, Cameron?
I'm not sure. I think everybody's been pretty careful about not overdriving the trucks. I definitely seen a couple people sliding around. I slid a couple of times, but I don't know. I think people are dialed in right now and just wanting to race green flag. So, kind of hoping we'll go green for a little while, just to kind of play out some strategy and see what happens. See if I can go get a good finish here.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Cameron. Hopefully, we'll talking to you later.
Thank you.
He was pretty good at Texas and the officials, so he knows how to pilot around Texas. So Texas is probably going to be a good track for him. So I'll expect to see him up towards the front a lot lately. Maybe we'll see. Just hopefully, we'll see how this all works out for him, and just have to pay close attention.
Even whenever we raced with him on the console side of things back in, years ago, back in the day, he was also pretty good at Texas, so it doesn't surprise me that he was able to still be good at Texas here on iRacing side of things too. So, like you said, Troy pitted. He wanted to be, he probably wanted to put himself on the same set of tires as everybody else that he's been racing, but unfortunately, when he wanted to wait and pit a lap, that's going to put him further back. So he's not going to really be around Brandon Moore, Jaden Sanchez, the people he's been fighting with. Green flag back out in the air. Mark Berry's going to lead him into turns 1 and 2 here as Pearson on his outside.
As Will Roberts waves that green flag aggressively.
Right. Mark Berry's going to go up the track on the corner exit. That's going to open the door for Chris Cornett in the 88, and Jaden Sanchez pushing that 88 into turn 3. Might have been a bit of a beach bubble arrow effect there, but still giving him a good push to the lead. Now, only about what would you say, Brian, about a 3 to 5 lap differential here, maybe even go as far as saying 8 lap differential as far as tires go, depending on who it is that stayed out. During that caution, we had 4 drivers in total as Troy pitted. We were going to have 5, but I do believe we have 4 drivers that, like I said, at least 5 to 6 lap different older tires than, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 13 or 15 of the other competitors that came in and pitted. They have the freshest of the fresh.
Absolutely, Will, they do.
Chris Camary is unfortunately in the pits. Hate to see that after they just go back green. So, don't know if that's a restart violation or what that could be with Camary, but
I don't know.
Danny Lyle is the first competitor 1 lap down at the moment, but there I believe we have 4 competitors 1 lap down. Robert Amaral, Michael Day. Good to see Michael back in, competition. He's kind of been away. I think he's been sick.
Yeah, he had some things to take care of.
Or on vacation. I think it might have been vacation.
See Ernie King and Jacob Carter side by side battling it out very hard here. You see there's Ernie gets the run underneath of Jacob.
Jaden goes back to the lead, taking the lead away from Cornet there. The first, the first handful of trucks kind of single file on the straightaways as Cameron makes a move on, I believe that was the 18, so I say they were single file. They were single file for a lap, and then they went back racing. Wow, they're really out there trying to get that high line momentum. It's very difficult. Normally that bottom lane, that bottom lane right up against that white line. Like I said, you don't want to hit it, but mainly this bottom lane is where most of that momentum is at here at Texas. You can get some on that outside, but it takes a little bit, and mainly rubber as well, built up, But he's able to really kind of keep defending this position at the moment. You can see how twitchy that outside lane can be, though. He keeps getting a little bit of a toe assistance from Mark Berry in front of him on the corner exits. That's helping a little bit. As, man, we got a couple of blinkers. They might have to change their blinker fluid, Brian.
Yep.
Cornet and Pearson up here.
iRacing now implemented a thing, so now they know. So whenever you get a contact now, like iRacing does the X's, now they tell you like where you got it from. Like it'll say car or truck number now. So
does it say what lap as well? Like truck?
No, it's
98 hit me.
It says like truck 98 4 times or shit like that.
Oh, rather. Unfortunately, his lane got a bit compromised by Mark Berry, but going through 1 and 2. But unfortunately, Mark's lane got more compromised. He had to back out of it, but somehow the 18 was able to wrap it around and get that momentum out of turn 2. Yes, that's a cool thing that they implemented that we didn't see in the notes.
Yep, see,
that's really cool.
They're always throwing curveballs. But the very unfortunate thing is iRacer was down for like a while. Like from 8 o'clock in the morning till about almost 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh.
Whereas they were updating some freedom, which was good. Absolutely it was.
Well, that gave a lot of people time. I know. During the downtime, like the maintenance time for updates or server maintenance, if I'm not mistaken, you can like basically preview tracks or cars that you don't own during maintenance work. So that would have been cool for people, to have done that during that time. That would have been a long time for people to basically test drive cars they don't own.
Yep. So 61 or 150, well, almost halfway mark is 75 coming to 76.
Yep. And we've only had one terrible caution tonight, so Tyler Myers making, I want to say this is an unscheduled pit stop.
Yeah, him and
Lyle's in the pits. It could be scheduled. But I don't think that is. No. I think those are unscheduled stops.
But good job for Cameron.
Unless,
P4.
And I don't think they would have been able to have taken the wave around. Maybe. Yeah, Cameron currently sitting in the 4th position, top 5 currently. Not too much of a detrimental effect, for him not to have pitted there on that caution. After, like he said, he just had pitted for 4 fresh tires during that pit cycle that we just had before the caution came out at lap 44, 45, somewhere in that ballpark. Deion Johnson might have kissed the wall coming out of turn number 4, Brian, on that on this lap prior.
Oh, yeah.
So great little snake line that we have up here. The top 5 broken away. Well, no, top 4 kind of broken away, and then a couple of car links back. Well, let's just include, the top 8 here. Top 8. all in a line. You could throw a decent size bed sheet over the top 8. Oh, Cornette got loose out of turn number 2, and he lost a handful of spots.
That was Cameron taking the air off the back of that 88 volt. I noticed that is a thing. The air
Oh,
plays a big thing.
Especially here at Texas, we've seen it before in the real world, in the Xfinity Series, Cup Series, Truck Series, doesn't matter series. We've seen it how air can be a vast disturbance to these trucks, these stock car vehicles.
But JP having a very great run.
Yeah. Brandon Moore has been mired back in the traffic. He pitted again with Jaden during that caution, so just kind of surprised that Brandon's just kind of been stuck back there, Brian.
Yeah.
I would have figured that he would have worked his way up through the field, or maybe just some stuff has occurred, or maybe he's decided, take it easy a little bit. Maybe he's expecting another caution or something to that effect to maybe play out. I'm just kind of surprised he's in 10th position at the moment. Cornette, Smith, this battle here raging on as Pearson kind of got disposed of. Oh, they took him 3 wide down the back straightaway, and JP said it's still too early for that shenanigan stuff, and just kind of rolled out of the throttle and let them have it, Brian, as Ernie is in tow with them. And that moves Cameron into the P2 position. Ernie trying to go into P3, and he does. Jaden Sanchez, though, has a couple of lap fresher tires. I think Ernie has fresher tires, too, behind Cameron, trying to maybe take over P2 and run down Jaden here. As we are closing in on a lap truck, it could be Lyle. So Lyle should be able, he just came out of the pits, he should be able to, in theory, drive away if he took 4 fresh tires.
Yep. You see Sanchez there, but Cameron is right there. Well, Cameron is ever so slightly closing in on Jaden. Which, by the way, Jaden is the youngest driver in our field. So,
And the BNR Racing Series has a wide age group, that is for sure, wide age group. From their teens, like you talked about Jaden, he's 16, 17, 16?
17, I do believe.
17, yeah, his birthday was a month or two ago, I think, or a couple of months ago, a few months ago. But, yeah, we got, if I'm not mistaken, you got people in their 60s over here racing. So, like I said, all sorts of ages, different ages.
Which is awesome. That's the kind of field that we like. Different varieties, different talents out there, and there's different driving styles. Be a little bit better way to put it.
I think the average age might be around like maybe 35, 34 in your league in total. Like if you was to try to average it out, I think it might be like 34, 36. But having Jaden, it might actually be down a little bit. It could be like 33, 32. Because I know you have a handful of guys that are around my age or a year younger. Austin Moore, he's 22, I believe, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
You see JP lost a lot of spots, bro.
I keep wanting to be living in, I guess, the year 2022 or something. Closing in on that halfway mark, we're about to get there as they are trying to make their way by the lap truck of Lyle. Lyle's doing a good job staying out of the way. Not too sure why he is a couple of laps down, but he is. Just having a... Oh! Just having a go at... Oh, Lyle, come on, buddy. All right, we see here riding on board with Pearson. You see just how different 1 and 2 is from 3 and 4. If Brian can get back to him before he goes into turn 3, you can see how different the banking can be. For sure, we'll get to show you, and you'll get to see when we do our crank it up portion in just a few moments' time.
Oh, you can actually probably do it right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that works too.
We're over halfway. Well, no, we're at the halfway mark, so. Yeah, we'll let them drivers listen to the sounds of these truckers and let them hear it.
Green flag pit stops happening again for the second time of asking this race. We'll might be able to sneak another crank it up back in after the pit cycle happens. So riding on board with Mark Berry as he gets to his pit stall here. I wish, while we were spectating, Brian, I wish iRacing would let people, while they were spectating, see the pit crew in action. That's a kind of a pet peeve I have with iRacing, kinda. And I'll go silent again so you can hear Mark get up through the gears here. Now riding on board with Jason Pearson. This is kind of, we'll get a good look at what I was talking about how 1 and 2, Austin Moore, how 1 and 2, oh, this is the gray ghost paint scheme of J.D. O'Brien. He said he had it tonight on his truck. Haven't got to see a lot of J.D. J.D.'s driving the gray ghost machine. Oh no, Austin Moore, is this Austin? I think that was Austin, wasn't it? No. Yeah, Austin had a moment coming out of turn 1, but he was able to save it, gather it up. Epic truck control as he's having another moment in turn 4. Did he get a little bit of contact that time? I think Mark might have maybe nudged him a little bit. Not 100% sure, but you can really tell some drivers are struggling.
Yeah, they're struggling a lot. I thought that's what that meant.
Yeah, he told me before the show. He said, "Hey, I got the gray ghost tonight," and I'm like, "All right, cool, can't wait to see it." And like I said, haven't got to see too much of JD because we've been focusing on all the skirmishes throughout the race, and finally got to see a glimpse of it. So love to see it, JD. This is about that time, Brian, that you would be expecting that second round of green flag pits cycle to occur, since we haven't had another caution yet to disturb it, kind of break it apart. And like we talked about, there are some drivers, 4 or 5 drivers, maybe 6, that are completely on a different strategy than others. We have Troy Daggett, for instance, that decided, hey, I'm going to stay out, I'm going to lead a lap under caution, and then I'm going to come down and make a pit stop. And that might seem to work in his favor in the overall grand scheme of things, Brian. If this race can truly stay green from lap 47, I believe, when we went back green, that could work out like I talked about. Do what? I always seem to feel like I'm ruining things tonight. Oh, yes. We were riding on board with Ernie, and was that Jacob Carter? Who was that?
Austin.
Oh, it was Austin finally got the ghost, huh? However that saying goes. Coming out of turn number 2 here, riding on board with the one machine, and oh my goodness, what a hard impact. Did he just get tight here? I'm going to have to look at the stream and what happens out of... Oh, he hit the bump. He hit the bump right on the corner of exit of turn number 2. And with these worn tires, you're already trying to back down, to where you're not spinning on corner exit, and then whenever you hit that bump right there off the corner exit of turn number 2, sometimes whenever you're trying to slow down, back up your corners, right, Brian? And if you hit that bump at a slower speed, that will send you to the wall, like we just saw with Austin. We saw he was loose, so he probably backed up his corners. He was trying to back up his speed to where he wasn't being as fast off the corners, breaking loose, and unfortunately, he hit that bump there, coming out of turn number 2, and just shot right to the wall and then into the inside retaining wall. So we were having a slew of pit stops here. There was a cycle going on, and this is going to throw the race completely on its head, Brian, because it looks like we're going to get a handful of wave around trucks, excuse me.
Oh yeah, it's going to shake a few things up.
Well, like I talked about, I do believe we will see a handful of wave around trucks because we just had so many trucks just pit right there, Brian. So,
Oh yeah, that was majority of the field that pitted too as well.
grab Brandon Moore. We got enough time to hurry up and talk to him. Mike Skinner, you got copy, Mike. Hey, Mike Skinner.
I'm right here. You got Mike.
All right. Well, I thought you might have shot yourself in the foot, during that first caution. You came down, you pitted with Jaden, you got mired back in the traffic. I was asking Brian, I'm like, why is he not going up there? Like, I know you're probably conserving some tire, but now you're back up here. So is it now attack mode? We still got another pit stop to go, possibly, if you guys stay green. So is it still attack mode, or is it still conserve mode?
It's still conserve mode, and that's what me and Jacob there, we were just kind of playing follow the leader there, me and him. But yeah, we were saving tire. There's really no point in going up there and battling these guys on fresh tires. They're such even trucks in the draft. So really your best time to pass is once they wear their tires out, and then you can make pretty short work of the cars. So that's going to be pretty much the plan on this restart. I'm going to try to keep a little bit better track position, not try to save too much, because don't want to get stuck back there. Want to stay close to the leader as possible.
Well, okay. I'm just going to fair warning, okay? Watch out for Jacob, because earlier in the race, you were ahead of him. You didn't get to see him. He was really wicked in 1 and 2, okay? He bit the wall, okay? This is just fair warning for you. Get away from him, okay? But best of luck to you, Mike. Go get them, okay?
Right.
Your name's Mike Skinner for what you're doing tonight. You're running the Goodwrench paint scheme on a truck, so you're Mike Skinner. So catch you later, Brady.
That's Mike to you.
Yeah, Mike. Mike Honcho, everybody. Hurry up, Brian. Get him out of here before he says something bad. Oh, I love it. I love it. Anyway, 91 laps in the book, working our second caution of the evening. Jaden Sanchez is our race leader. Ernest King, P2. Jacob Carter is third. Brandon Moore, Mike Skinner, is currently in P4. If they can ever get lined up here so they could stop messing with me. The 18, our Troy Daggett, is P5 and 6. Christopher Campbell, Dion Johnson, that's 7 and 8. J.D. O'Brien and the Great Gate, oh my goodness, Great Ghost, is in 9th. And Pete Woodrum, nice to see Pete up here in the top 10. He is currently rounding out the top 10. All right. Lights are out on that Chevy Silverado GMC Sierra. And I always say that because it's not branded in iRacing, but we know what it looks like, so that's what it is. Anyway, that peels off down onto the safety of pit road.
And Will Roberts is going to wave that flag aggressively again. Oh, a little stall out there from the 24.
Yeah. Where did Ernie's get up and go? I think Barney the flagman, he's getting a bit of a tan today, Brian, or is that just me?
He could be.
Okay. Side by side for P number 3. As everybody side by side behind them, multiple rows back, multiple rows deep. Somebody kissed the wall coming out of the quad oval. I think that was JD. Oh, we got Slideways Robert, but he gathered it up. Cold tires, possibly. That's the second second lap of asking. So, like we talked about, cold tires can be treacherous on any restart.
Oh, and there's caution number 3.
I'm back here. Oh, it's going to be Tyler Myers maybe here. That's who we're riding on board with. What's going to happen? Oh, Brian Schwartz is going to get into the back of Tyler Myers, but in a way, don't you think Brian Tyler kind of floated up a lane, maybe a half a lane? So, oh no, Robert and JD, innocent bystanders again. You hate to see it. You hate, man, you hate to see it. I have no other words but that to say. Like, that is going to have to get a on-board point of view from that 11 machine, Brian. You know, JD was having some struggles of his own, as we were seeing, we were kind of riding on board with and seeing as well. Also from the restart, and going to see here, you can't really, you see it happening in front of you, right? Like, but also you kind of don't as well, because the truck in front of him, like you see it happening, you see Myers getting sideways, Robert's going to come down to hopefully avoid it. What goes up must come down, but first, if you're already up, you got to try to go down to avoid it, but just, laws of motion.
Oh, yeah. Tell you what, it's been a very interesting race, that's for sure.
It has been a very interesting race, and did Jaden pit, or did Ernie take the lead away from Jaden before that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I did not know.
Hang on, Will.
Wrangle up Joe. Okay.
Real quick.
10-4. I guess I could try to wrangle up Joe. I think you can do it on the app, can't you? Let me see here. No, that's not what I want. Come on. Move to... No, I don't want to... I want to move him down here. Okay, well, I can't figure out how to do that. So,
what happened?
Working the third... I was trying to figure out if I could move people on the app from one place to another, but I think I can, but it was telling me, or it was asking me if I wanted to move to... I was trying to get Joe Stipe, but it's okay. I think they're going to double up here, but we should have enough time. It's a mile and a half. We have enough time. Joe's always quick. Joe's always quick with his responses, and always great to talk to regardless. So, hey, Joe.
What's up, fellas?
Joe?
Yes, sir.
Mean Joe? Hey, how you doing? You're not mean. You're actually a really nice guy. I was just... Anyway, you're currently in the top 10. We talked about it before the race. That's your goal almost every week. Get that top 10. Almost 50 laps to go. We still have another pit stop, right? So, it's Brandon, Mike Skinner was saying earlier, you're still in conserve mode, right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the tires underneath me. I'm going to push this as far as I can to make that last set of tires. Make that last set of tires last as long as possible. So,
well, that's... Yeah. So you still have one set of tires laying in the pits, Joe?
I actually have two sets left.
Oh, so you were one of the possibly many drivers that still have two. All right, Joe. Well, thanks for talking to us. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you later.
Yep. I'm going to try to just not get ran over.
And it's always a struggle, I know.
All right, buddy. Best of luck to you, bud.
All right. Thank you.
Well, we got Bobby Allison as well as Mike Skinner. We got David Pearson out there in the Gray Ghost.
And you got Benny Parsons up here in the booth.
Lord.
As everybody calls you. And then you call me DW.
Well, I wouldn't really call you Daryl. I would
Go, go, go!
I would call you like Alan Bestwick or.
Oh my God! Oh my God! All right.
I don't want to call you like. What? You don't like Alan Bestwick?
No, he's all right.
You want to be Bob Jenkins? I don't want to call you Marty. I don't want to call you Marty Reed because he never knew who anybody was.
Hey, sometimes I can be like that.
Well, that's true, but you're better at pronouncing names.
Boy, Cameron's got himself in a scuffle back here, Will.
Yeah, he's back here in some dirty air, back here in some traffic. More traffic, I think, than he's been in since the start of the race. He was up in the top 5 of about top 7. Now he's trying to get back up there.
50 laps
breaking
to go,
back
Will.
into the top 10. Yep, 50 to go, like you just said. Sorry. Oh, no, that's not what he wants to see. Part of a 3-wide shuffle.
Well, it's getting pretty racy up there in the front.
Yeah, rubber's finally getting laid down on that high line like I spoke about at the top of the show. Like I said, there are 3 lanes here. There's the middle, there's the bottom right next to the white line. There's then that middle that you just see Jaden put his truck in before he diamond the corner, taking the air off of Daggett's nose. We have separation up here at the front. Throw a blanket over the top. What is that, 5?
4. No, 5, yeah.
4. Yep, 5. I thought I saw 5.
My eyes are just playing tricks on me.
Yeah, you're the one that always has to wear glasses. I should wear mine, but yeah, they hurt my head.
Good to see the 18 out here. That's putting up a heck of a fight there. But Jaden blocked both lanes with 2 teammates.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say sometimes. You block me once, okay, cool. You block me twice, shame on you. You know, you block me 3 times, you're in the wall. But, that just all depends on if they can get a run back up to Jaden. Jaden's doing a real good thing here. He about parked it in the center of the corner once he finally got back to the throttle. Fantastic driving, pedal work by everybody involved. Oh, I think there's a shuffle in the back. I'm not too certain what was going on further back, but I thought somebody ate the wall in the middle of the back straightaway, but my eyes could have deceived me there, Brian.
That was Carter and Brandon. And just like that, they shuffle Jaden out, and Lowther goes to the outside, and...
Yes, Lowther going around the outside of Jaden in 1 and 2. We saw him make up good momentum work in 1 and 2, and he's going to go all the way to the wall just to prove me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. So... Daggett says, come here, I need that tail, I need that draft, come here. You're my teammate anyway, right? Come here. You said they were teammates, aren't they?
Yes,
so,
they are.
yes, Lather.
It's a 99 to 18, and Chris.
Yep.
45 laps to go, Will.
Where's old Chris Economaki at? Oh, he is still 3 laps down. He's one of the trucks. He had an unscheduled pit stop, so just checking in with our buddy Chris there. So
I'm back there in 19th.
yeah, he's just unfortunate. One of those other trucks, just all these untimely cautions, just not being able to. Oh, is everybody going to avoid Jaden? This should be our 4th caution of the evening. Or is it 3rd? 3rd or
4th?
4th, right? Yeah, okay. Always go with the gut, Willie. Why don't we... Did Ernie just move him there? I think Ernie moved him.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out here now, won't we? Look like Ernie carried a lot of speed. But
yeah, like I wasn't trying
to... But as they say, you leave that opening down the bottom, we're going to take it.
Yeah, there's a whole door down there. He's got a whole window of opportunity, but let me see the replay from the stream here. I think Ernie gets tight right as he goes to make the pass, Brian, and just pushes right up into Jaden. I don't want to say he, don't want to purposely say he did that. Of course not, right? But because it doesn't clearly look intentional. Because, like you said, there was a big window open down there. I just think he just gets arrow tight going down there after he makes the move to turn the nose down onto the bottom lane is right probably when he gets tight. Like you said, he carried so much speed into the corner, like he was able to carry it to the center, and right when you need to normally either burp the throttle on fresh tires or around this type of tire length, is when you need to start working that throttle a little bit, possibly in 1 and 2, but either way, contact was still made. Jaden still goes around, so.
Oof.
Yeah.
That
Unfortunate. Just hard racing, really. Oh, yes. Close call indeed. Who are we riding on board with? This is...
Pete.
Oh, Pete. What a close call indeed. Yikes. Great to see Woodrum up here battling, in the top 5, Brian. Fantastic.
Absolutely, Will.
What a save. Yeah, like I said, don't want to say that was truly intentional, because like you said, there was a whole lane open like you talked about, and I've made that move before where I was following someone into the corner and they didn't completely go down to the bottom, and I was like, hey, you give me this, I'm going to take it, and it doesn't, it works 50% of the time, Brian. You know that just as well as I do.
I'm going to take advantage of it every time.
Yes. If you are going to keep, giving that window, that door, as some famous racing drivers say, always go for the gap. And if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver. So Ayrton Senna, famous quote. So.
JP up there, and then Lowther, Daggett, Barry, Woodrum, King, Steve, Smith, Cornett, and JD. Is your top 10.
Now, during this, during our 4th caution here, Brian, do we possibly see anybody coming down and topping off before we go back green? Because we are possibly within the window of making it.
I don't think so. I think a lot of them just, oh, yep, there's a few in the back there. Cameron, Justin, Cornett, JD. A lot of them that Carter did, Brandon.
All right, so if you top off from here, you're going to get 40 laps. Excuse me.
And that's about all it is. They'll be coming to 39 to go, so.
A lot of them are diving in, taking a chance like you talked about. And like we already talked about, the pit window, 35, 36 to 40 laps. So it's a gamble. It's going to be a big gamble for sure. You have the top 9: Pearson, Lowther, Daggett, Woodrum, Berry, King, Stipe, Johnson, and Day that stay out, that do not come back down to top off for fuel. Smith, Cornett,
And the pace truck is off. So from Smith
O'Brien.
all the way back, they all came in
Yes.
top off.
Yes, Smith all the way back. They came and topped off. Thank you. That really saves from having to call out everybody's name.
The green flag is back out for the 4th time tonight, Will.
5th in total if you count the initial.
Yes. You see there, JP is probably... Oh, okay, never mind. That was just by the way it looked. Oh no, Michael Day's back in the pits.
Well, Michael Day restarted 9th on that restart, so do you think he decided to go ahead and jump down and make a pit stop, Brian, or maybe a restart violation?
Maybe.
Hopefully it's not the latter. So we kind of expect almost the top 8 now instead of the top 9 to owe us one pit stop for a splash of fuel. Or, you know, maybe they're hoping, they're praying for another caution, Brian. Do you think Cameron has taken his last set of tires? Like, who all do you think no longer has a set of tires?
I think Cameron took his last set. Maybe the 88. Justin did. Because he only had a 8 second. I didn't see what Cameron
unless I would jump down and ask, basically be a pit road reporter real quick, we don't really truly have that knowledge given to us, you know, from iRacing or any type of application to know who still has a set of tires left. We would have to basically be a crew chief / spotter for someone to know that, I guess, but Jason Pearson currently leading the way from Troy Daggett, going into 3 and 4 for the 116th time of asking. So, working lap 117 now.
Good run by Barry, that's for sure.
Oh, Mark is like Mr. Consistent. If it's not Pearson, you know, being somewhere in the top 5, it's got to be Mark as well. Like Mark and JP, those are 2 drivers that you almost expect to finish in the top 5 every week because they're always there.
Oh yeah.
If they're not, something happened to them. They either overdrove it, you know, spun out, backed it into the wall, got caught up in a crash. But you almost expect them to be there every week as just great racing still throughout this race as Ernie trying to bust the wall down. I think that was Ernie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Ernie, I hope you're listening. I think you are, aren't you, buddy? Like, can you give me some more, like, sparkle to your number to where I could see your number a bit more better? I know it's you, but I love to see everybody's number. And he's probably like, oh, come on, you. It works with the paint scheme, Will. But it's like, Ernie, when we use our cameras that we do, like these long view cameras, it's sometimes hard to tell the numbers sometimes, but
30 laps
that's my
to go,
defense. Yep, 30 laps to go, Brian. So Sanchez kind of mired back in traffic, stuck in the dirty air. He's trying to move, break moves, but he is 7.5 seconds back. Currently, the closest one that pitted, topped off for fuel that we speculate, is Cameron Smith, currently in the 6th position, 3.5 seconds back.
Yes,
Pete Woodrum still up here in the top 5 currently, Brian. 5 trucks with a 2.25 breakaway from the rest of the field. I wonder how all that occurred.
They
All this hard-nosed racing. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yep. Still probably worried.
Oh.
Yeah, as we look back a little bit through the field, never mind, iRacing said, no, don't worry about it, it's nothing. But as Brian had to go back and find it, I bet, back here, Jaden, like we talked about, he's trying to get back up here. He's also got Chris Cornett in tow. Cornett's been up in the top 10 most of the night as well, so these late in the going with the pit window cautions that keep happening to everybody this race really kept turning the race each way but loose. So
I know Schwartz would like 2 more cautions because then that'll put him back on the left.
I'm sure everybody would like as many cautions, to get them back on the lead lap. Michael Day, Chris Camary. You got Robert back there in the 2 truck that both incidences, he was just minding his own beeswax. Troy Daggett still behind Pearson. Pearson still leading this race. Pulling slightly away from Troy. Ever so slightly. As Lyle brushes the wall coming off of turn number 2. Those iRacing paint schemes almost look like an Old Spice truck.
Good save by the 4th.
Mike Skinner was probably thinking, what the heck is going on?
See Jacob
Barry
Carter.
and Woodrum's going at it. Yep, Jacob Carter. That's another driver making his way back up through the field as well. Where is Jacob? What position is he in? Currently 14th. He's been struggling most of the night trying to keep that truck underneath him, as we saw earlier in the race, Brian.
Yep. When you get a slick track. But JP still has almost a half a second over Daggett.
We need to make a race one day where it's like the perfect temperature.
Now I have full
You know what I mean?
control of that.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like now,
Well, after this,
now
I
we
gotta
could.
set up Charlotte.
Yes, we could do some test, or not really testing, but like calculations or something.
The Charlotte is very fucking hot.
No.
That's my bad.
Yes, I know from past experience it gets just as hot and humid and muggy as it does down here in Mississippi. So Under 25 laps to go, 23 to go. Pearson still in control of this race. Now Ernie King has got by Troy Daggett. But we still expect, Pearson, King, Daggett, Woodrum, Barry, and even Dion? Yes, Dion. Unfortunately, Dion, to owe us a pit stop. At least we don't, I think Dion might be saving. I think Dion's backed off since the initial restart. I think he's like, oh, I'm short. So I think he's short. I don't think he was one of the ones that pitted.
He didn't.
But
at least as far as I know.
Yeah. So came back down, topped off completely. But like I said, those drivers that I just listed, we expect them to come down for a splash of fuel, something like we said earlier. They're doing some type of dance, some type of pair dance in the rig right now. To they're dancing for a caution, Brian.
Well,
they're probably doing.
Do head to Charlotte next week.
Yeah, Charlotte Motor Speedway, back-to-back 1.5 miles. So 1.5 mile swing here for these truckers. Charlotte always.
Good race.
He beat me to it.
And after that, we go to Talladega. I think the interesting one on the track is going to be... Oh, they go to iRacing Super Speedway.
Yes, I believe all 3 series go to iRacing Super Speedway, or all 3 dates.
Motegi. Hey, these truckers also go to Old Atlanta. Yep, there's JP. He's coming in the pits now.
No, you don't go to iRacing Super Speedway on Saturdays.
Oh, perfect.
We get to call the race on Thursdays, though. Or on you know what I meant.
Yes, sir.
That race is in 3 weeks.
Yep.
Darlington, Homestead, then iRacing Super Speedway. Man, who created these schedules? Anyway, 17 laps to go, 16 to go, my apologies. Ernest King back in the lead. I keep forgetting I do these things. But Troy Daggett still in second. Pete Woodrum now in third. Cameron Smith, we should have picked him to be our sleeper.
Absolutely, we should have. So he is the first car, if he did take any tires, he would be the first truck. Okay, yeah. To have enough
Just the first truck that came back down to pit, yes. And also, like you said, to make it to the end, yes, that we speculate can. Dion and Cornette, man, they're having a tussle for 7th place at the moment, Brian. 7th and 8th place. Johnson and Cornette, Brandon Moore, Mike Skinner.
I'm sure he likes that name.
That'd be hilarious if only we could get like the real Mike Skinner to watch our broadcast. Oh, someone's pulled a me and did some dirt tracking down there in the quad oval there, Brian. Did you see their tire mark?
Yes, I did.
That was my line for so many years. I just clip it every time. It would scrub off just enough speed to make turning 1 and 2 perfect. If you could hit it right, But you don't want to like Dell Jr. yourself here. That made me so mad the opening laps of that race he did that. I'm like, man, he had such a quick car too.
And now Ernie King up here in the front.
Had to go and give himself another concussion. It's like, man, come on, Junior. Brandon, he is the next truck in line. He has really slapped him away as far as probably swatted him with a net to get by. Oh, wow! That's more than a golf clap. That's for sure worth of a save. And that truck almost acts like he's got a tire down, Brian.
Could be a possibility.
Well, just as well as I do, once you overheat these tires and you need to cool them back down, that's what it's going to feel like. It's going to feel like you have a tire down, as Bobby Allison is now trying to get by Chris Cornett. It just came out so smooth, I had to roll with it.
You see Jacob Carter getting the pass by JD there.
Hey, Jacob's still in my lines.
We figured who does it, and it's Mr. Carter.
Yep. That's probably been Jacob who's been doing it. He had to follow me a lot, so that's probably where he got it from. I'm just saying, Brian. Anyway.
9 laps to go.
Oh, JD was leaning back on Jacob there, trying to get him back out of the quarter, but couldn't quite get him there. Let's see if he can get him in. No. Oh, 5th and 6 just changed. Brandon Moore has got by Cameron Smith. Mike Skinner goes back up into the 5th position. Oh, they're battling, Brian. They're battling 5th and 6th. Find them. There you go. You found them. Okay, I'll hush. So, Napa versus Goodwrench. Basically, get those Goodwrench brakes at Napa, I guess. If Goodwrench is still a thing. Is Goodwrench still a thing? It's still a thing, right?
I think so, yeah.
GM Parts Plus, it's got to be still a thing because General Motors is still, they still make cars. I don't know why they wouldn't still be a thing.
Ernie
Man,
King,
I guess
Daggett,
Brandon...
Woodrum, Barry, Moore, Smith, Sanchez, Johnson, Snipe, Cornett. Rounds out your top 10 there.
I'm guessing Brandon thinks, okay, I have enough fuel to make it to the end. I've saved enough. I'm going to go now because he has caught Cameron and he disposed of Cameron. Cameron's now, 10, at least 5 to 10 truck links in his mirror. So... And that pay window's in the open. Like we are in it, Brian. 7 laps to go. If you ain't already trying to get up there, you've done wasted your time.
Yep. It is now go time.
I think, unfortunately, Jaden got mired back in that dirty air, that traffic, and he was probably trying to be conservative, trying to save the gas he needed to make it, but probably burnt his stuff up at the same time, trying to be conservative because it can be very easy to do that while you're trying to be conservative to kind of underdrive your tires, if you can understand what I meant by that.
Yeah. You want to know something interesting?
Go ahead.
The SRX cars that they released, they have a fixture for them to race Talladega.
Oh my goodness, we should do an SRX series.
I thought about it.
You should send. You should send me. Yes, you already know what I'm gonna say.
Well, hold on. When we get done, I'll pull it up and then we can look at all the sets that they have. They got a lot.
Well, no, I've got a great idea. Like after we get done with our 20 race season on the Thursday side of things, that could be our Thursday replacement. Think about it.
Yes.
Are the SRX cars are they free?
No, you gotta buy them. It's like $11.
Well,
It's a reasonable price.
I suppose so. If we could get enough people for how many SRX cars can you have in a session? Is it only 12 or?
No,
Because that's how many.
It's probably
You can
like this. You can have 60 if you want.
Because if you can have as many as you wanted, we really need to look into maybe starting an SRX series. I really have to get more knowledgeable with those cars. I think they have 800 horsepower or something, don't they?
Oh, they have
750.
Super late model power.
So
Final
650. 500. Ernie King, man. So Ernie and Troy able to go the distance here as Ernie's going to take the win in the BNR Truck Series.
As we sit at the finish line and we wait.
Wait, was that a photo finish for P2?
We'll find out. No.
No. Okay. That must have been more passing a lap truck or somebody.
You pass with him. There's a finish right there.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Here comes another one. That was Cornette and Carter. And who's gonna get that? Who got that?
Cornette.
Wow. Because that was great. That was a great finish. But Ernie King has enough. He goes the distance here tonight from, I think he went 42. He went 44 laps?
Yeah, I think he's had a fuel though.
So it's Ernie, Daggett, and Mike Skinner. So let's go ahead and grab Ernie, if you will, because he's normally a busy man. We could grab and talk with the race winner if you want to first. Race. Or we could do it backwards like you want to normally. P3, then Troy, then Ernie. However, I thought we could always mix it up. Anyway, race results. Ernest King is our race winner tonight in that 24 machine. Troy Daggett comes home P2. And Brandon Moore rounds out the podium. Pete Woodrum. Excellent run for Pete tonight in the BNR Truck Series in P4. Cameron Smith, we thought he might be the victor, but just everybody was able to go, man. He gets the final top 5 position. Jaden Sanchez comes back to 6th position. Mark Berry, 7th. Chris Cornette, 8th. Jacob Carter, 10th. That was a tight photo finish for those positions. Joe Stite brings home in 10th position, gets his goal for the night. Justin Steves just outside the top 10 in 11th place. Dion Johnson in 12th. Christopher Campbell, 13th. Dan Lawther in 14th, Jason Pearson 15th, J.D. O'Brien in 16th, Michael Day, good to see Michael back in 17th, Brian Swartz in 18th. Brian, you got the rest?
And then you got Chris Camary, P19, Daniel Lyle, 20th, Paul Lawson, 21st, Robert Amaro, 22nd, Tyler Myers, 23rd, and Austin Moore, 24th.
All right, so let's grab Brandon, our P3 finisher, and talk to him, old Mike Skinner. Had a fantastic race, just unfortunately the strategy didn't quite go his way as far as getting the win here tonight, but he was really hoping, that old Ernie needed a pit. Mike!
What's up? Got Mike in the booth.
All right, Mike Skinner back at it. We talked to you about halfway through, and you said it wasn't, it was still conservative time, and you were still riding it out. You were riding out the storm. So you finished P3. You were hard charging there at the end. You're like, gotta talk to Will. Gotta talk to Will.
Dude, I don't know how they saved that much fuel without clutching it at the first of the run like I had to. I clutched it for like the first, 10 laps. I was putt-putting.
Ernie went 44 laps, right?
Something like that. I don't know. That was that was impressive.
It was either 44, 45. It was something like that because I told Brian whenever the caution came out, I'm like, wait, hold up. If you come in and pit like right when the lights go out on the pace truck, like if you could come in and pit on like the final caution lap, you might be able to go the distance here because it'll be 40 laps, 39, 40 laps to go. Yeah. And that is right on the edge of the pit window for you guys. And man, he extended that window.
Yeah, he did. I was impressed. I'll be honest. I'm gonna have to start using the ignition switch and cutting it off. Get me a button set up instead of just using the clutch.
That seems like the way to go because after Pearson pitted, it seemed like Ernie that could have been what Ernie was doing.
Because after thought I could make it on fuel, I know I was freaking flying trying to catch up the top.
Yeah, we saw that because you got up to Cameron because we knew Cameron, like I said, we did the Aaron's math thing. We did the math, and I was like, well, Cameron, he is the first truck that can make it for sure. And then you were like, hi-ho silver away. And you started putting them down.
He tried to fight me for it. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. I'm going to the top.
Anyway, and like I said, you're here now, so you would just get up and go. So next week is Charlotte. If you're going to be here for Charlotte, what's the mindset going into Charlotte?
Charlotte's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's not going to be as tire sensitive as this Texas race was. You had to really put a lot of thought into keeping the right rear on it. That was the main thing, and that's what's going to help the truck turn, especially turn back down the hill on the exit of 2. If you can make that lower exit, you can gain a lot of time instead of shoving up towards the wall. But as far as Charlotte goes, you'll have a little bit of breather, going into the corners, but it'll be pretty flat out on the green tires.
Any final thoughts, shout-outs? Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just, I don't know. But anywho, final thoughts. Mike's happy. Mike's happy with his run. P3 got to talk to Will. That was the objective for the night. Want to thank all the folks at home for watching the stream. Thank all the competitors for coming out, put on a good race. And we look forward to the next one. Maybe we'll get another P3 or better. We got to talk to the booth. That's the goal. Because if I'm talking to the booth, I'm making good points.
Shoot number font if you're going to keep running this paint scheme. I'm just saying you got to tweak it just ever so slightly. You got to fix it.
Next week. Oh yeah, I know. I need to. Well, that's the closest that I could find with the iRacing. I'm a cheapskate. I forget. No. I absolutely will not pay for the premium trading paints. I'm a cheapskate.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's as close as I got. But
well, it looks as good. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it ain't as good as it's close. It's like the dollar store version of the number 3. Yeah. It ain't like quite that. Yeah.
It's like if you got it from Wish or like Dollar General or somewhere.
Yeah, it's like if you went on Wish.com and typed in Dale Earnhardt paint scheme truck, and you got it in the mail, and it's like, close to the picture. I guess it'll work.
Exactly. So hopefully we'll catch you up, later in the week. We got, man, I just looked at all these schedules. Charlotte, right? Yes, Road America Thursday.
Oh boy.
So yeah, we'll catch you up probably at
maybe
Road America.
For that road course, I'll not fall asleep and be able to practice for it, unlike the other one when I woke up 5 minutes before.
I know we have Charlotte in the Cup Series Saturday. So anyway, we'll catch you up sometime. Later on, Brandon. Go celebrate this P3, and you have a good night, man.
Yep, y'all do the same thing. Well, we'll catch you next week.
Is there?
Just love
Troy.
the long goodbyes. Yep, got to get Troy now. Grab that cane and grab him by the neck.
Troy.
Boy.
How's it going, guys?
Going fantastic. You were seeming to have a back and forth night. You just I don't want to say you didn't have that longevity, but you did have it every now and again. But it seemed like that one part of the run in like the middle portion of the race where you were trying to I think you were trying to mess around with Jaden at one point, like your truck kind of plateaued, and then like you got the speed back, right? But yeah, just tell us about your night overall.
It was a great night. I mean, that first run, yeah, Jaden was quicker than me. I was trying to hang with them. Then hit up that right rear. Then we came down, picked tires and everything. Then soon the next caution, we hit it on the green. Then we took caution came out. I made a mistake of I was gonna pit with everyone else, but I was trying to get a cheap shot and lead a lap real quick. And that strategy bit me in the butt, and I fell back mid-pack and everything. And worked my way back up at least. Got P2, so.
Yeah, we thought for sure it was either going to be you, Jaden, maybe Cameron. Cameron was looking. He had a hot. He had a good piece tonight. I thought, but yeah, just tell us about how the truck was handling overall in the dirty air, because it seemed like once I don't want to say like a quick fella like you or Jaden or even Brandon got back in that dirty air, it was hard for you, it seemed like, to overcome that.
Yeah, it was hard because the truck was so loose. You couldn't get back on the throttle, and in order to pass someone, you either try to run on the high side or try and get him going in the corner, but when you try to hit that bottom line in the corner, so on the outside, my truck just got loose. I couldn't handle it, so I had to try to make passes on the outside, which was a little bit tougher trying to get the momentum up.
So next week is Charlotte, narrowest mile and a half on the circuit. What's the thoughts going into there? You got to be conservative through 3 and 4 because the tunnel turn, the bump. So what's the concerns or maybe the strategy going into Charlotte?
Strategy would probably try to be the same here. Just trying to save your tires and not push it, which I pushed it a little bit too hard on some parts, burned up my right rear. But yeah, try and keep those tires underneath you, and hopefully it does not come down to a fuel saving race, because I thought I was going to be like half a lap short, but somehow I managed to save enough.
Well, Troy, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything you'd like to add for tonight's race before we let you go celebrate this podium finish?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you and Brian for announcing and broadcasting this race, the BNR Truck Series for racing on Tuesdays. My wife and kids for letting me race here during the week. Chris Camary, 15 Studios. Now we got another teammate here, Dan Lather, so we're bringing some guys here to build up your guys' roster. And I'd say congrats to Ernie King for his win and his great fuel saving strategy.
Yeah, Ernie he got 5 extra laps out of everybody, that's for sure. So best of luck to you next week at Charlotte if we don't see you before then, Troy, and go celebrate this podium finish, man.
Oh, I will, trust me, this one was a well-earned one.
Yeah,
it was for sure.
Bud, awesome job on the P2.
Thank you. You guys have a great night.
You too.
Now for our winner tonight in that 24 machine, bringing it home in that P1 position. Obviously, that's what the winner is. Ernest King, ladies and gentlemen.
Ernie, how's it going?
It's going well, boys.
Well, like I said, it was eventually your time to snag a win. You did
Um,
Tell us,
go ahead.
you did a
just tell us how you do it.
I was garbage in practice. I'm not going to lie. I was straight garbage in practice. If you guys watch me at all in practice, I was straight garbage. I don't know. It's badass though.
How did
Um,
you end up saving? Because you went 5 extra laps than everybody else. Everybody else had then, if they would have had a green white checker, they would have had a pit. They weren't gonna make it. But you end up saving the extra 5 laps of fuel. So how did that end up falling into the clutches of your hands?
Well, I pitted under that last yellow.
Oh, you did.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So
yeah, everybody, I believe, pitted, but then we had whenever you guys came back around for, I believe it was like the final caution lap, right? A bunch of fellows came down, and only about 8 or 9 of you guys stayed out, and you were one of the 8 or 9 guys, and you just tell us how you saved it.
clutching, turning the engine off. Um,
Ah,
it's the whole time we were running those caution laps. My engine was only running just I had it in fourth gear, and I would clutch it, turn my engine off, and um, you know, start it back up, and then turn it back off, and that's not even the half of it, boys. Man, I mean, it was because it got me to win, but I tell you, man, if you want to go back earlier in the race, I did a faux pas, and I thought I was going to be done, but I took left sides only. Let's see, what was that? The third caution when we all pitted. I think it was the third, and I with my new setup that I have with all these crap I got on my I accidentally clicked the right side and didn't click because I was just going to take fuel only. And for some reason, my truck just took off. It was, and that's when I was catching Jaden and all those. I feel for Jaden, I really do, because I don't think I really got into him. I think it was more netcode than anything else. And I told him that when he came in and talked to me, I was like, "Look,
yeah,
I'm sorry."
yeah, that incident. It looked like you were just able to kind of cut the corner, uh, cut down into turn one a little bit better than most guys tonight. And that lap in particular, you had a rocket ship going into turn one that lap, it looked like, and Jaden did leave a door open. There was a whole lane down there, and me and Brian talked about it. I have made moves in the past where someone didn't completely in front of me go down to the bottom, so I'm like, I'm gonna go down there, and like I've made the same move you have before, so it happens. So, but yeah, at least you guys were able to talk about it, right? That's the important thing.
Yeah, of course. Just I want to keep a good, rapport with everybody. I don't want to, ruff any feathers or anything like that. I'm here. I'm a solo act. I'm not with the teammates or anything anymore here in this league. So I gotta, keep an even keel with everybody. I'm not, the best. Like I told you guys last week, this track owed me one, and like you said, diving it down into turn one, when I had to be aggressive, I could really go after the hill and then let off and let that right front set, and then ease the throttle. That was the story about it. I could really ease the throttle and let it ride out to the wall, and everybody was overdriving going in there. And I just had that run going in. So I mean that was the real story. 3 and 4, I was kind of even with everybody. I couldn't make any ground. So it just that's just. I was telling Brian, he was in the team chat with me, and I was like, 1 and 2 is if you can make your ground, that's where you need to do it.
Indeed, that's where you can do it if you can do it right, exactly like what you were saying. Because 3 and 4, you're pretty much even with everybody. Like you're either patty cake in the throttle or full throttle really in 3 and 4 more
Right.
so than you are in 1 and 2. 1 and 2, you're like you said, you got to really arc the hill and pivot the truck, and in this case down the hill, and if you can't get it turned right, you're going to be out of the throttle way longer than you need to be, and some are just able to hit that line better than others. Next week is Charlotte, though. Ernie, what's the preparation mindset going into Charlotte?
I don't know. I guess it's kind of the same thing. You got a corner where you can hold it wide open, and then there's another corner where you kind of have to, like here, kind of work it a little bit. I should be good there too. I'm not going to say that Charlotte owes me one like Texas did, but I'm going to go after another one right there, and let's put a stranglehold on the standings while we can.
Exactly, because every point matters, man. Points is, the main thing. It's not always about wins. It's about collecting those points at the end of the day. Final thoughts, shout outs, anything you'd like to add before we let you go celebrate this win, Ern?
Everybody, awesome race. It was good. I was praying that a yellow wouldn't come out when I was, coming to the 2 to go or the 3 to go or anything like that. Sucks I couldn't do a burnout for you guys, but I ran out of fuel coming back around. So at least I parked it there at the start finish line, and we'll go get them next week. I want to thank you guys for putting on the show. It's awesome. I'll watch it tomorrow, and thanks to Steph. Steph lets me go in here and do this every Tuesday night, and she puts up with it. So, and my mom. I ran my mom's tribute paint scheme tonight, and it was my first league win. So, rest in peace, Mom. I finally got it. So, I'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir, indeed, buddy. Awesome win, well deserved. Go carry that momentum into Charlotte. Go celebrate that win, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, boys. Have a good night. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Anyway, well, that will conclude tonight's Truck Series here from the BNR Truck Series. Awesome job tonight by all these guys.
Oh, awesome job indeed, Brian. Fantastic race. We only had, 4 cautions, and it just fantastic race. Come down to just excellent strategy by everyone involved, truly, really, if you think about it. And, I'd like to thank all the drivers that turned out tonight. It put on a great race. Thank you, everyone, as well, for tuning in. Doesn't matter what platform you were able to catch us on. We appreciate it. We love you all. And next week in the BNR Truck Series, as we've already talked about, will be Charlotte. That'll be probably 200 miles of intensity, as we just saw here tonight. Oh, okay, it's another 225 miler. All right. Next week at Charlotte. So I know, like we already talked about, Road America is Thursday for the BNR Fixed Bearded Cup Series. I believe it's also the Bearded Cup Series, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so yes. So hopefully until then, we would like to wish each and every one of you a